Okay, we back again. The new and improved. The trio, the three amigos. Big Sue, Pandemic P. I'm the host, James, and this is Off the Parkway podcast.
Off the
We're back
Parkway.
here for another episode. You know what I mean? This is number 5, if you want to call it that, with all the test runs. We have been on a run. We have all our socials together here. So if you like this type of if you like this type of content, hit the like button, subscribe. You can go to IG and find us. Same name, Off the Parkway Podcast. You can go to TikTok and find us there. Facebook, we're all over the place. We're just trying to get it done here. We're trying to make all the content we can for you people. And I hope you enjoy. How you feeling, P?
Tap in.
What's going on? Smooth? Shoot, man, I can't complain. I can't call it. We here in Jersey. A lot of big things happening. Feeling good, feeling blessed even. My feet still touching the ground, brother, so I can't complain about nothing, man. How about yourself, champ?
Hey, man, I'm all good, man. Good week. Nick's on right now. Last time I checked, they were doing what they supposed to do. You know what I mean? Everybody else is good. Just getting ready for these holidays, man. Things come up quick. We were just in summer, and now it's about almost Thanksgiving time. And then as soon as Thanksgiving hit, you already know it's time for the end of the year. Christmas and all the other stuff. Things move quick with time. Time waits on no one, as you can see.
I got jokers with Christmas stuff up already on the block. How about that?
Oh man, yo, I don't even think they could wait, man. A lot of people threw their lights and stuff up, and it wasn't even Halloween yet. They could not wait to get that junk up, and I'm just like, man, I ain't got nothing. So I don't know what to tell you. Hey, I'm just here. That's all I can tell you. The block, I know they probably mad as hell. They're like, this dude ain't got nothing.
Nothing.
Well, it is what it is.
Big
What you got
what up, though, G?
Yeah, man, what's going on, peoples? Nah, man, I'm good, man. Had a pretty good day today, man. Was able to hit the gym, get some chest and tries in. So anytime I get to the gym, that starts my day off right, man. Like, because when I can't get to the gym, I feel aggravated. I feel like I didn't get something accomplished. You know what I mean? The gym is part of my routine. It's part of my self-care. So I need that. I needs that in my daily routine. So when I don't get it, I'm off. I'm off center. You know what I mean? So I was able to do that, man, catching up on all the current events that's going on, the elections from yesterday, the trade deadline. That was a big thing for me more than anything, man, because I was trying to see if my Bears is gonna make a move, man. We banged up right now, so I was hoping that we make some moves on the defensive side. But the Jets they had a whole fire sale yesterday, getting rid of Sauce, getting rid of Quinn Williams. So these are the two best players on the team. You know what I mean?
Buy one get one free.
So they basically cashed in the season, and they said we're going to get these picks, and they got a clean slate with Aaron Glenn and and I guess to be fair to him, he'll have his own team and see what he could do with it. You know what I mean? So that was good.
Now,
you know what I mean?
Let me ask you. You feel like the Colts got fleeced on that Sauce Gardner trade?
Fleeced? I mean, I think that's going to be yet to be determined because based on what they do from here on out is going to determine whether they got fleeced or not, because they clearly is all in. They look at the landscape of the league and they say, all right, this is the best chance we got. Let's put all our chips in and let's see where they fall. Because obviously we see how they started off. They have a really good balanced offense with that run game that's elite. Danny Dimes, who's been playing safe football, not counting last game, obviously. But for the most part, playing safe football.
Giant.
That's a whole different thing right there. But so we're gonna see if they got fleeced, man. I get it. You know what I mean? Hey, the football, it ain't easy unless everybody ain't got Pat Mahomes that can get you there with whatever team he got, So while you got a full team, while you ain't paying nobody a lot of money, put your chips all on the table and see, So
See, yeah, I said that because Sauce haven't been the same player he was since his rookie season. He's been
mhm.
falling off the radar for the most part. I mean, they defense has been falling apart these past couple of seasons, and it's hard to just blame him because they had a whole bunch of nonsense going on over there in
Right.
New York over there. They,
Hmm.
changed coaches and all type of nonsense. So, I think the culture is real bad over there, and it needs to be built up again.
Hmm.
But I'm just happy that he can go and get some meaningful football, and make the best out of the situation. And I mean, another thing, he might be messing up because he's supposed to be with that damn Ice Spice. So I mean,
Yeah.
Oh,
he might need to get out of New York. Period. 'Cause
Uh,
that lifestyle in New York is probably could be messing him up a lot,
I mean, listen, man. Some would say that would be something that's a little bit more inspirational, man. That make you play a little bit better. I
or
mean,
it could be a distraction.
it could be either way. Either you're in New York, man, and gotta be
Type of
professional,
I
but
don't get.
see, I mean, but again, New York is one of those places, man. One of those unique places where
I
if
feel
you
like you're
live
about
in
to
it,
gloss over something that was just said. We're gonna allow you to gloss over that, because that was just false. But go
Nah, type of. But continue, Pete.
yeah. Uh, New
on.
York, New York is one of those places where when you young and you rich, this is way too much to do. There's way too much, trouble to get into. Not to say that that's Sauce's situation, but at the end of the day, the Jets, that's the Jets. What are we talking about? Like,
I'm about to say, I mean, like. Look,
what are we talking about? It's
New
the
York,
Jets. They
L.A.,
win.
Miami. There's a lot of places that's full of distraction. But like, if you good, you good.
You good.
You know what I mean? And he started off good, and that's
Yeah,
when he was
he
a
did.
somewhat
He did.
decent team. But the Jets has been trash for a minute now. You know what I mean?
Come on, man.
I think that's what it had to do with it. And I think you're gonna see him play inspired football going for the rest of the way because he's on a winning team, and now they gave up a lot to get you. You got to play for that contract, or they're gonna
Yeah.
be asking you to adjust some things on there. And football ain't like basketball, with the contracts. They like, listen, if you ain't earning that money, they going they gonna fix it.
They're gonna be talking restructuring real fast.
They're gonna fix it. You know what I mean? And so he gonna have to play. He got to do that sauce.
uh,
And pause on the name too, because I don't know what kind of sauce he coming with, but I'm gonna go ahead and pause that, man.
we got a Paul Sauce. We
I'm
got Paul
pausing.
Sauce.
Listen, I pause. I pause a lot. You know what I mean? Like,
Hey,
but
look, I got it. We got to check it with Dane Dash to see if pausing on sauce makes sense. Because like he,
Wow.
them Harlem jokers, they know all
look,
the
well, you
every
don't get
comment
you. Well,
to pause
well,
on.
Dame said you don't get to tell him that when you check in on him when the pause.
He tell you that's what I'm saying.
He
That's how bosses move. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You're boss, so I got to check. I'm
Man.
checking with Dane. Like, hey, Dane,
it'd
we
be
got
easy
to
for
do.
you to talk to him because he only talk to bosses. Myself, I wouldn't be able to talk to him, but you,
Man, look,
P, you could talk to him.
I don't know if Dame actually talking or not because he been chilling kind of lately after the fiasco he's been a part of. But hey, it is what
Yeah.
it
That's funny. I'm a boss. Yeah. That's hilarious.
I'm a
Okay.
boss.
All
is.
right,
No, I wouldn't say he's a
go ahead,
boss.
Smooth. Go ahead, man.
I
God,
wouldn't say he's
I
a
need you
boss,
to take.
but
I need you to just take the control of this, Smooth. Please, these guys. Jesus Christ, it's taking us
hey,
off the rails. God, you trying to have a serious pod? Go ahead.
it's it's
Go
tough.
ahead. Go ahead.
Some
Go
people
ahead,
It's
just
sir.
don't
very tough.
understand.
It's very tough.
Jesus
This guy
Christ.
talking about some of the
Yeah.
type he don't get when it comes to, and he forget.
You
He,
talking about? I'm a boss.
this man forget that we damn near 30 years in. Like I know the type that you
Man.
get, like what we talking about here?
Sir.
Only thing I know is this, and before we leave, before we close out on this topic here, I know Bills and Broncos didn't make any moves, so
No,
you know what I mean. We didn't improve or anything. So
nothing.
Well, when you sitting
Nothing.
on the top of your division, you don't need to. You
Well,
don't fix what ain't broke.
I won't say that, but you know,
I mean, there's always opportunity. There's always opportunities to
You don't
tweak.
fix
There's
what
always
ain't broke.
opportunities to tweak.
yeah, there's always an opportunity to
That's
get better.
and
Always opportunity to
the
tweak.
smart teams don't ruffle feathers when there's no need to. There's no need to crack any more eggs with the system that you got clearly working. So defense is good, offense is good. You say the quarterback is the one that's a little shaky here and there. Well, you're not going to make a move to change the quarterback. So
Well, nah, well,
what would you change?
we can use some other pieces. I can tell you that much, but that's another story for another day.
Because
You
there is
know,
no other story. Y'all jig, and there's no need to downplay it, buddy. There's no
that's
need to
another story for
downplay it.
another day.
Healthy team, no need.
Yeah,
Hey,
I need
hey,
to.
smooth. Hey, smooth. Get us back on track, man. Scott.
Yeah,
Hey,
man. It was a. It was. This was a busy. Yesterday was a busy day. It was
Right.
election day. Did y'all
Election, man.
exercise y'all right to vote?
I did. I did. Yeah, for sure. I went out there. I got my vote on. They tried to give me stickers and all types of stuff. I'm like, ma'am, no, thank you. I don't need none of that to know I voted. But yeah, I definitely participate and I do my part, my civic duty, right? Because I think it's important, especially local. I think it's actually more important. Local elections is actually way more important than the presidential stuff. The presidential stuff get the flashy stuff, but it's the local elections, the assembly persons, the councilmen, women, the governors, and the senators, right? Because those are the people that represent us. And the governor has actually way more influence and effect on my daily living based off of the decisions that the governor makes. And so, to me, I think it's important that we
Sounds like you
participate in that.
froze.
Otherwise,
Hey,
I
so
just don't
we
think
just keep it
that.
rolling. You'll be
Um,
back in a minute.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
already know how it goes down.
Yeah. I
So
mean, listen, I would like to sit there. He back.
there you go. He back. You back, P?
yeah, yeah. What was so? My fault. That's what happens
You
when
were
you
saying
have
that you got cut off when you were saying that the governor voting is more of an impact on your daily business. And you was about to
well,
explain
yeah,
that.
their daily life they live in it has a larger effect in my opinion and my experience, right? Being a native New Jerseyan, right? When we're talking about as homeowners, right? We're talking about property taxes, and we're talking about the cost of our electric, PSCG, or whatever you use throughout the state. All those things and all those decisions matter. So whether or not whoever you voted for, you don't have the right to complain if you don't participate, and that's my opinion. You hear a lot of people running around complaining about
Yeah.
this and complaining about that, but if you didn't participate in the program, you should just go and just be quiet, have a seat where you was at when it was time to vote. Because these are the moments, those meetings, and these people when they sit in these rooms together and they make decisions about your life. They make decisions upon what's coming into your state. They make decisions on whether or not to turn on the National Guard on your block. These are the people you have the opportunity to, uh, vote for or vote out, talk to, have a conversation with. Like if you don't have a conversation, I remember Andy Kim was on our block not too long ago, and he was just really conversing with everybody, like in a real way, not like you know politics speech where it's high level. It was real intricate conversation about, look, this is why it's important to understand who your senators are, who your council people are, and who your mayor is and who your governor is, and have a understanding of what they're doing and why they're doing it the way they're doing it, so that you can, whether or not you're going to build your team on either side to combat it. And I don't care what political side you want. But if you're not aware of what's happening and you don't understand why it's important to participate in these processes that we have, then you get something like, you know, our current president, who's out here just doing whatever he wants to do.
I mean, P, I couldn't agree with you more, especially, when you say that, listen, if you're not going to be part of the process, you should be, you don't have the right to complain about things as they go along and stuff, and, just goes to, James, your first question, did you vote? You know what I mean? No, I did not. So maybe I should shut up and not speak too much on this whole thing because I didn't vote. But I mean, in fairness to me, we off the Parkway. This is the Jersey podcast, and it was obviously a big election in Jersey. Um, I have a lot of vested interest in New Jersey, my home state, where I'm from and things like that. But I don't live in Jersey, so there was no room for me voting in this state. So, but
Right.
I do feel like I could talk about some stuff, when it comes to it because I work in New Jersey and, I get my bread from Jersey. So, even though I don't live in it, my commute and all that stuff, I'm affected by it. And I think that it was, it was a big day yesterday, depending on which side, which lane you stand on or whatever,
Yeah,
and what you
yeah,
support. And where my support lends to, I felt it was a step in the right direction. And whether it was the race, the governor race in Jersey or the mayoral race in New York, um, and I felt that that's going to also have that's going to affect how things go, in the tri-state area as a whole. Like I think the debate on what's going on in this country, how you should be involved, the part that you're choosing to play in it. I couldn't agree more. If you're going to have a voice in it, if you're going to speak and complain about it, then you got to be a part of the change, and you got to be able to put your support behind whatever way you want to. What I mean? But if you don't do nothing, you don't get out your house and go out there and put your support behind somebody, it's gonna be hard to hear for anybody to hear what you're complaining about.
man. That support is key. That's a big key word right there, support, because
Did you
that's
vote,
all
sir?
that. Yeah, yeah. I actually voted. It took me all day to think about who I wanted to vote for. I waited to actually like 7:30 to go vote. When the polls closed at 8, because I really didn't have and that boy doing Teddy making noise, but the thing is that I didn't have an idea of um, who I wanted to vote for because I was doing my research, and what I mean, I don't live in Jersey City anymore. I mean, I was in Jersey City to make the vote that I needed to make for changing where I work at. You know what I mean? Because that was the
Oh,
big election. Jersey City was the
the
big election.
mayor, the mayor. Yep.
Yeah, the mayor and the councilman that were going for it, they can make a big impact on what I do for a living. You know what I mean? So the thing is that a certain mayor can make you or break you, or with their policies and how they do things and who they support and who they don't support. Because if they do support, then I can have a good time. You know what I mean? A good favorable contract, a good favorable, path of just moving forward. And if they don't support, then you can be on eggshells the whole time. You know what I mean? So I looked at it like this when it came down to Jersey City. Before I talk about the governor, Jersey City is a big city, the second largest city in Jersey, and we have one of the lowest voting numbers, you know what I mean, for all those people that we have. So the fact that people still talk, like you just said, what I mean, a lot of people just talk, talk, talk. They'll get on their high horse all day long, but they won't go to the polls is a big problem. But the thing is, what I mean, it's also confusing as well, and voters fatigue for some. But if you want to exercise your vote, you know what I mean, exercise your right to vote, then you gotta decide, regardless of what it is. You know what I mean? And for governor, the thing is that those two, they was going back and forth for the longest. I voted for who I voted for. Um, and with the hope of mind of, if you're saying that the cost of living is high in New Jersey, then I hope you actually take that stance and help try to fix that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Don't make any false promises.
That's right. That's right.
I got a question for both of y'all. I noticed in both of y'all, been talking about the voting part that y'all didn't talk about who y'all voted for. Is that intentional or?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
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 yeah, for sure,
yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
Because it's not necessary for me to tell anybody who I
All
voted for, or whom
right,
I
so
voted for.
y'all maggot. So y'all maggot it.
Nah,
No,
definitely not
Listen,
Mac.
listen,
Nah, 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 nah,
listen,
nah.
listen.
I'm
I
about to
just,
say,
I just
take
I
like
that
to,
think,
Bill's hat
hey,
off, P,
look,
man.
I
Nah, I'm fucking with
think
y'all.
yeah,
everybody should vote for their interests, right? But then for the
Yeah.
greater good of their proximity, right? Like
Mm,
my town, my people. I'm voting intentionally for the things that I know that affect me, and then the people that are like me, and the conversations I have with people within my community and our
yeah,
concerns. So I vote for the interest of that, right? And whether it's red or blue or green or purple, it doesn't matter. It's who is going to help accommodate the needs of my community, and that's it. And now you could feed me a line of BS and say, yeah, we're gonna do this and you're gonna do that, and when you here's the thing though, when because we're intentional. So if you say you're going to show up the way you say you are, we're going to hold you to account. If you don't, then when this time comes around again, you won't have our vote.
so,
It's just as
so,
simple as that. So yeah. You're not going to have my vote, and we're going to hold you accountable for all of the things that you say, all the promise that you say, and if you happen to vote for somebody that didn't win, right? You can still hold the person that did win accountable for the words he or she and the promises that he or she made during their campaign. So even if your person didn't win, the other person that did win, you got to hold them accountable. So you still got to participate. You can't just fall back and say, "No, I'm no, my person didn't win. Now I'm no longer going to participate." No, you say, "All right, who won? Okay, and here's what you about, and now I'm going to hold you to account for what you about." Period. That's just the way it should be across the board. Like I remember, listen, and people talk about MAGA, but I just remember coming up with good brothers that were conservative Republicans that was cool to me. They had their way of thinking, their way of politics made sense to me in many ways. In many ways, it didn't. And vice versa with the people on the Democratic side. Some things made sense, other things didn't make sense. And that's always been, from the point I could vote, that's always been how it is. It's like, yo, some parts make sense here, some parts don't make sense over there. So I'm just going to vote for the person I think is going to have the best interest of my community and the people within my vicinity and my radius. And that's just, I think
so,
everyone should take that
and,
same stance.
and that's interesting. And, we are three brothers who we come from, community, Irvington. I'm from North, James, you're from Jersey City. And, we come from inner city, and we know what that come from. And you say something that's very interesting to me, Pete, when you say that you're voting for the interests of who's going to best benefit the interests of your community and what you represent. So my question to that is, and to a lot of people who feel that way, are you? Does that mean that your community that you're from, or the community that and what you have evolved to right now? Because we are all evolved. We don't live in those areas that we are from. We have some would say evolved, from those impoverished areas. So that's not our community as it stands. That's where we're from. So how do you look at that? Is it like, all right, my interest is, well, I'm in this bracket right now, and this is what I vote for, or the people that I'm from, my essence, I vote for their interests, even though that doesn't represent me right now. They need it more. Like, Like, is there a difference?
So that's a great question, Sue. And there's a saying that kind of encapsulates my thought process in terms of that particular question. The term is rising tides raises all the boats, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I say that to say this, that if my community that I live in now um, gets the type of help and the promises that are made to this particular community, um, will inevitably the same uh, policies will help the community I came from as well. As so long as the people that in my old community understand how to take advantage of some of the policies, right? You got to pay attention to what these policies are and how it can help you and how to maneuver around certain decisions made by politicians. And what I found in my old community, especially in Irvington, I love my people in Irvington, is that a lot of people aren't really paying attention to what's happening in politics. And because you're not paying attention with politics, things are just happening to you. What I realize over here, certain neighborhoods where I'm at now, it's not the same. These people pay attention. You can't get over on certain people because they're in their face. They're in these council meetings, right? I got OGs, 70 years old. They run up on the mic and they're like, "Look, I'll fight about this, like physically," and you just like, "Whoa, okay." You go to a similar council meeting, you might not see the same type of fervor. You may not see the same type of energy, but that doesn't matter. My point is, the things that affect my community here, um, where I am now, will inevitably, if the right people are in place to help my people maneuver through the policy, maneuver through the system, and help them understand that it is important to pay attention to what's going on with you locally and how to take advantage of these politics, it'll help them as well. So essentially, my answer is both the community that I'm in now and the community that I came from. Uh, I'm fighting for both, in the sense that you know I don't want anyone suffering. Just like we had that last conversation about SNAP. I don't want anybody to suffer. If you qualify for SNAP, you get your SNAP benefits, right? That's just what it is. I don't, all these people, complaining about this and the third, that has nothing to do. If you ain't on SNAP and you working, then okay, fine. But I don't want anyone to suffer. There's no need to be in a community where, my people can't eat, or my people can't pay for gas, or they can't take their kids to an amusement park, or, all the things that, we're able to do, on this side of things. We came from an era where we had to heat our house with the stove. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I can tell you that. I
you,
can tell you
you
plenty
know what
of
I'm saying?
days I had to do that right
You know what I'm
there.
saying? So I'm like, I understand what that's like. So I would never root for anybody that doesn't have the best interest of the community that I came from, and I would never root for somebody that doesn't have the best interest of the community that I'm in.
What you
What's
got?
your thoughts, dude?
Well, me, I vote both ways. Well, I vote with the mindset of both ways. So I'm thinking of, I actually think of my people at where I used to live at first. You know what I mean? Jersey City. I do think Jersey City first because that most of the time that's going to affect me first, just because I work there and all that good stuff. So, and also I deal with a lot of people there, a lot of families still there. And I look at where I live at now as regardless of what the policies are, they're going to be all right. You know what I mean? They're going to be all right because they're in the financial bracket to be all right, regardless. There is some people that even that they might feel that they're poor, but that poor is not the same poor as Jersey City poor. I can tell you that much right there. And the fact that with Jersey City compared to here is that, you know, there's more people in line to what's going on. Just like how P was saying. They have Facebook groups that they all afford, that they pass information to each other. I'm talking about these people be all on it. Like I'm like you don't even need a Ring camera. They got the
Yo,
cameras
they
all over
got
the.
a yo, they got
Yo, they're
a
all over the
Facebook
place.
group around here too.
Yeah, they got a Facebook group, yo, and they straight up, yo, they had a tent for cats. Yo, they thought it was like a homeless tent. People were like, no, it's for cats. Like, I'm telling you, they tell her ASAP. So
Yo,
they gonna be all right. They gonna be
James,
all right.
like James,
Yo, yo, no lie, yo, it be crazy, yo.
but
The stuff that be in that Facebook group, yo,
but
it's
James,
ridiculous, yo. So, go ahead.
but you know why they're gonna be all right? It's exactly what I said. They're gonna be all right because they're gonna make sure they're all right.
Yeah, they're gonna make sure.
Politicians to account. They
Yeah,
pay too much money in taxes to allow a politician to play in their face. That's just not never gonna happen. When I pay the amount of money I pay in taxes, I don't care who you think you are as a politician. You're not gonna play in my face. You're gonna make sure you do right by my neighbor. You're gonna make sure I don't have any potholes in my street. You're gonna make sure that
I gotta. I see. That's the problem I got with these politicians. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, we went through this whole election process. They out here, they out there running the streets. They knocking on doors. They got all this energy. They all over social media. They doing all these debates. They want the votes. They get in, you don't see them no more. You know what I mean? They fade into the black. They fade into the background, whatever the case may be. So, you know what I mean? That's the thing that pisses me off. That we out here giving them our vote, and then they hit us with the flim flam. You know what I mean? And they disappear. They give us these speeches on how, hey, we gonna lower taxes. We gonna do. I seen one of the Jersey City candidates was like, yeah, we're gonna be able to. You know what I mean? If there's an investigation, I'm gonna be able to get you the videos, this and that, whatever, whatever. So you know, you can watch the video. It's impossible that he can do that when it comes down to the Oprah app. You know what I mean? If there's an investigation going on, it's no way in hell he can get this video out before anybody else. It's no way in hell possible. So that's the kind of stuff that people are not catching. These lies or these fake stories, or you know, as our president would say, fake news,
yeah,
fake news. You know
yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Whatever. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
Great
yeah.
impression.
But
Not a good
but
impression, but
but you the difference is, James, is that in order to know that that particular politician can't do what he said he can do, you have to have been paying attention.
yeah, you gotta pay
That's
attention. Yeah,
my whole point. If you asleep at the wheel, dog, then and you let Jesus take the wheel, then it's gonna be what it's gonna be. That's it. Like if you're not
Yeah,
participating and paying attention, it is what it is. You just have to deal with what you gotta deal.
yeah. I agree. You gotta be paying attention for who's out for your best interests, who's out for the community you represent interests, and if you don't pay attention to it, you're gonna find yourself complaining about why did I vote for this person? Is the whole thing where the Latino community, the huge Latino community that voted for Donald Trump, and you've got all this ICE stuff that's going on, and all this deportation with immigrants that's going on, and
they ain't
like
read the room.
on social media,
They ain't read the room.
you see the whole thing where like the Shade Rumor posted, and then they'll show the story about somebody getting deported. Then the last clip
Yeah,
that had that damn song they played during the during the election, that I will vote for Donald Trump. They'll play that at the end, just like the show. Like, see, we told y'all that. Now look, they'll complain now. But I mean, it's almost a damned if you do, damned if you don't. Situation. You know what I mean? Because no matter, candidates have disappointed on both sides, whether you support a Democrat, whether you support a Republican, independent, whatever, you know what I mean? And there's a lot of things that these politicians put out there that they're going to do, and you're waiting for the payoff, and it isn't there. Now, part of the reason is that they can't do it on their own. I mean, Trump was the only
nah,
one that seemed to could do whatever the hell he want on his own. Obviously, you got the House and the Senate, but that's a whole different, situation. A lot of these people, they can't do things on their own. And some people, they get pressure, after they get elected to say, I know you promised this, but, this isn't going to look good for this, that, and the other. And they make changes on the run. I don't know. But when it comes to, I've always been Democrat. That's the community I'm from. you know, where I feel like I'm evolving to and things like that, it would probably be in my best interest to vote another way. But that's just not where I'm from. I just can't bring myself to, to doing that, and maybe I'm part of the problem. You know what I mean? I don't know, but that's just, that's my essence. You know what I mean? And like voting for the interest of where I came from is always going to be what I hang my hat on. And I don't know. So I see something from the other side that shows me they're gonna, put that community first and do things while also pushing the agenda that can also benefit me. Until I see that from a candidate on the other side, I'm just gonna keep on Democrat. But
I, I just think we
that's
got to
just
do a
me.
better job. We got to do a better job of holding them accountable. You know what I mean? If they win the election, we got to do a better job of just holding them accountable for what's going on, period. You know, if they're in there and they're going to be doing these policies or they trying to go in a different direction, hey, the people need to speak up and hold them accountable to that because this is what you're here to serve. You know what I mean? This is what we voted you here for. You said you were going to do this, you're going to do that. Gotta stay on these people, man, because if you don't, they're going to be the most, because you see a lot of lazy politicians, to be honest with you. They do a lot of that social media politics where they'll say that they helped and they'll take a picture of it or show a post on it on Facebook showing that, hey, I did this, X, Y, and Z, when you just made a phone call. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You didn't really do nothing. You just made a quick phone call and you know what I mean? You might have got somebody some help or you might have got something cleaned up or something like that. Like, come on, man. Like, you know what I mean? We need some real help out here. These people out here struggling. These people out here, you know what I mean? You got a lot of people homeless and all this good stuff, man. Come on, man. Like, yo, where y'all at? You know
So
what I
you
mean?
you
Well,
said
well,
the key
well.
word
Listen,
that you
but
go ahead, go ahead,
I'll say,
go ahead, Sue.
I'll say this. I mean, listen, we can keep going on about this right here if we want, but we're gonna dedicate this whole thing to to the politics. Let's do it. But if not, we should probably start moving on.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I think
Close us
I
out, Pete.
I just want to drop. I just want to just reiterate something that you said that was I think is very important that we emphasize the fact that being a politician is a job of service. Like you said it, this is a service centric job for all you politicians that don't understand it. And look at my eyes. Look at me. Look. This is a service job. It's not a job for you to make money on the other side, to write your stupid books and to do all these, funny things in the stock market. Your job is service. You help the people that you represent and to make sure that these kids have food on the table, they have a roof over their head, and they have clothes on their back. Make sure that these single moms have a place to live. You make sure that people have heating at a reasonable rate, and they have if you have a car, you can put some gas in it. Like all people care about, and what we care about is just making sure that we can survive this thing every day. And if you, as a politician, that's not your job. That's not what you're thinking about. You're thinking about yourself and how to become a better politician and to make some more money. I need you to get out the way, champ. That's all I got to say.
Well,
We can
yeah,
move on,
so
smooth.
yeah, let's go on to the next topic.
Yeah,
That was a good
that was good.
conversation.
That was good
Yeah,
conversation, man. Listen, listen, man. When we can sit down and talk about these things that real life things that really affect us, we can talk about sports all day long, but the only thing that affects is our mood.
yeah,
We ain't making
yeah,
no money off it. It's definitely my mood. But yeah, yes. So what we
yeah.
talk about
I
now?
remember your move. I remember when the Bears was in the Super Bowl.
Man,
He was
when
at the
I felt,
crib.
Hey Pete, that's the first and last time I ever watched my team at anybody's house. I don't go to no bars. I can't do. Only thing, unless I go to a game. You know what I mean? Anything else, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing
Yo, Sue was hot,
yeah.
son. Was hot.
it. Can't do it, bro. I can't do it.
And by the way, the Knicks won tonight, so just
Good,
want
Oh,
y'all to
good.
know. Yeah,
Who's that?
got a
Like
nice
Word.
W.
basketball gets me, like the Knicks can get me mad, but the Bears, bro, oh my God, man, I don't know, man, I need to get diagnosed with this.
Yo,
It's something wrong with me, man. Like
Yo, you was mad like you missed the tackle or something. I was
I can't do it, bro. I can't do it. They don't understand. I like, look, man, like just let me be. This is my thing, yo. Like
oh
I can
snap.
be calm and
sports will
control
mess
any
you
other
up.
time, but I can't do it, man.
Yo.
Sports will mess you up.
Yeah, I can't even watch the whole game. Like, the next game, I was watching it. We ain't score a field goal in like the first 5 minutes of the game. I turned it off right away. I was like, I ain't doing it. It ain't gonna piss me off right now. I had a good day. Like, I'll turn it back and see what's going on later. And if we win it, all right, cool. I might turn it back. But that when we catch up, I'll be missing that because I had to turn the channel.
Yeah,
But
it's
anyway, my
crazy too
fault, man.
because
Don't get me going on this, bro. Cause like, man, my boys, my teams be messing me up. I said it in that pod before. That Jet fan, when they put that camera in his face, and he said, "Man, I hate this team." He said, "I'm gonna be a Jet for life, but I hate this thing." And that's how
I
that's how my
missed that.
teams are making me feel, man. But anyway, go ahead, man.
I missed that
and
part, but that was hilarious. I did see that, yo. This kid, he was
uh,
so like, yo, he was
You
so
saw his
down in the
face. You
dumps.
saw the pain. You saw the pain in his face,
yeah,
yo. I'm like, yo. I like, yo, bro. I like, damn. I feel you, and I'm like, yo. I'm doing this to my son right now, because how he be hot with me. He be hot, he be crying and stuff. I'm like, damn. I done did this to this kid, man. I done
Oh
made him feel the
man,
pain, bro. But anyway, let's go on. Let's go on, man.
that's hilarious,
and
yo.
it's funny you mentioned that too. With the Knicks wasn't doing too well in the first few minutes of the game. They ended up winning 137-114. So
Okay, okay,
we
yeah,
pulled out a good win
it's a
today.
good one. It's a
Pissing
You know
good
what
me
I mean?
one.
off, man.
That was it turned into a primetime game because that damn Anthony Edwards decided to
In the
play.
play, yeah,
Yeah, he decided
because
to
it was at
play.
the guard.
Yeah, that's it. They stay doing
NBA,
that.
all these teams,
Yeah.
they always want to come to the Garden and show. Yo, watch when Wemby come to the Garden. He gonna show his ass this year. Watch what he try. I don't know if he gonna do it, but he's going to try to score 50, 20, 10, and 10. Watch. Let's go to the next thing.
Sheesh.
Watch.
So hold on. We're gonna go to the next thing. I got a video for y'all, so we gonna
Ah,
comment, talk about the video. That's to give y'all some quick backstory. Is Deion Cole. He was on Drink Champs, and he brought up the situation with Kai Cenat on the
okay.
BT Awards. You know what I mean? So let me pull this up here. Let me get that.
Tell you what, Deion Cole, man, his comedy has been funny for a long time. He had this bit that once you play it, but he had this bit that was funny, man, where he was like write these jokes down in the middle of the set, like, oh, that one works. That was funny. Funny
Y'all
stuff,
see the
man.
video?
Yeah, we see
Yeah, I
it.
can see
Yep.
it. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
All right, here we go.
Network hired this really big, I don't want to say motherfuckers' names, hired this really big streamer, right? The biggest streamer out there, right? Oh, shit. So they
What you
hired
talking
this
about?
person to come to the award shows and do vaccine shit, right? Yes, I saw it. And this motherfucker was like, yo, like, people was like, he was going up to people like, I don't know who that is. Yeah, Wale. Like, I don't know. And his excuse was, don't blame me because I'm young. Right. And that was so disrespectful to me because I took it personally. I met him. Wale wanted the African dance. Look, I was backstage and I met I met dude one time backstage, and he walked backstage and I was like, hey, what's up, man? He was like this, and he walked off and he was with I like that dude, the blonde hair, the Drewski. He was with Drewski. Yeah, and Drewski looked at me and was like this. What's up, OG? How you doing, man? I appreciate you, man.
Hold up, I got another one too. But let's see. Hold on, let me pull up the other one. Let's see. All right, here we go.
And I love everything you do. Then he went to him and was like, man, you know, OG, you funny as hell, And he was like this. And just walked off. I'm cool with that. I'm good with that. You know why I'm just all good, right? When you go on the record and say when they trying to go this baby face and this is this person and that person. On the red carpet with baby face. You're like, but look, but they asked him and he was like this. I don't know these people. I'm young. Don't blame me because I'm young. That was terrible to do. And to hire him to be your representation at an award show that you got icons and you got younger people, I think it's like disrespectful. And that's, I'm not trying to beef and shit. I'm just going, if you're going to be in that position, do your research about when you see icons and give them love when you see them, period. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
So, I mean, I'll go. So, I mean, I guess this is like, you know, a bigger debate of like when, you know, new age, internet stars, when they step into these black spaces, you know, BET Awards, you know, all these different things like that, is it their responsibility to know the history? Um, so he's talking about that. So from what I understand, it was Kevin Hart that was hosting the awards, and
Yeah.
we know that Kevin Hart and Casanet has a you know a relationship. Yes, Kevin Hart has come on. You know, they did the little sleep. The sleepovers. You know, doing Mafia Get Down 2, Mafia Get Down 3. I
Which
think he
they
did
are funny as hell too.
hilarious,
Yeah,
hilarious.
funny as hell.
And you know, he has a relationship with Drewski, who Bianco mentioned too, and Casanet. He brought both of them on. He brought Drewski and Casanet on, you know, to do it. Casanet was streaming during the BET Awards. So that's something that's completely new to the BET Awards. That's a whole new phenomenon. They never had nobody live streaming in the backstage, showing how people do this, get ready, and all this stuff. And when he streamed, it created some viral moments. The whole thing with Wale, when he, you know, the interaction he had with Wale, when he saw him in passing, he didn't know who he was, but the chat who's there, you know, can speak, and the people who streaming, they check on the chat what they saying in real time, and they're like, "Yo, that was Wale." He's like, "Who's that?" You know. Then they told him who it was, whatever. Then it was like, "Oh, okay." And then I guess what Deion Cole is saying is that that's not that happened more than once, you know, and he just walking around like, "Yo, I don't know these people, so it is what it is." I guess my comment to that is I don't even think that's on Casanet, to be honest with you. I think that's on BET. You know, they allow Kevin Hart to bring him on and bring his audience to BET. Now that's only going to benefit BET if you bring Casanet, which is a huge audience, a huge audience, a new audience, and a young audience to BET Awards, which is kind of dated. You know, this is cable TV. You know what I mean? What these kids are watching now is on YouTube, it's on Twitch, it's on TikTok. They're not watching cable TV right now. You know what I mean? So he's bringing that audience into, you know, what's going on there. And my fault, my light went out. And I think that it's a big deal, you know what I mean? But I don't think that's on Casanet to necessarily know what's going on there because they invited him. He just did it, you know, to have his content on the screen and like kind of put his message out there and bring that light on there. So when he did that, for Deion Cole to, I guess, kind of get it going on him about it, you know, it's not his job to know who's backstage, who Babyface is, because he wasn't hosting. Kevin Hart was hosting. Casanet was just there. So that wasn't on Casanet, my
I
opinion.
think I think that might be the disconnect right there because Deion Cole is thinking that he was hired, you know, to do the
Yeah, he
interviews and
wasn't.
all that stuff. Which, if he's not, you know, that's perfectly fine. Now, first of all, way to lead to Wale for nobody knowing him, but that's another story here and there. But you know what I mean?
They did know him though. His chat knew him.
Yeah, his
They
dad
told him
know him,
right away.
but
Now,
the fact
while
that he don't know him is still way to lead on that. But anyway,
debatable.
now it's debatable. But anyway, but the thing is that you know, what I mean, I see a lot of these guys are complaining about the younger generation not knowing, you know, or doing the history on what they're around. So like he's a streamer, yes, but he's around musicians and all that stuff all day. You would think that, as you grow professionally that you will take the time to know what you're around, and but the thing is, I look at it like this: times are different because when we were growing up, we wanted to know who, we didn't know everybody from our parents' music and stuff like that, but I knew some of them. What I mean? I don't, would I know them when I see them in person? Probably not. But I'm also not in that position to meet them as well. What I mean? I'll know them by their music. So if the music pop in, a little bit of Billy Ocean on, I know the voice. Like, oh, there's a little bit of Billy Ocean or the
You'll know
whispers.
the voice, but you probably
Yeah,
wouldn't
you
even
know the
know that
voice.
it wasn't a black man.
Yeah,
You know what I
but
mean?
the thing
Like,
is, I only knew it from the records. What I mean, from the covers. What I mean. So remember, there really wasn't no video action like that back in the day. Only a little bit of video music box, which was only geared to the rap and some R&B. But what I mean. The thing is now is that I guess when you get so big globally like he is, to be out there and you see someone like Babyface and you don't know who that is, that's kind of tough right there. What I mean? That is kind of tough.
what you think, Ben?
So I have a couple of thoughts, and I want to just make sure I can put it together in a way that's, that everyone can understand. And again, I'm not trying to be offensive. I like to first say sac passe to my man Kai. I hear he's half Haitian, and so that's my brother. Boom. So sac passe to my man Kai. There's two things here. One, BET allowed him to
I get
get on
percent too,
there.
just to let you know we're going.
Was that? What'd you say?
That's how I get percent too, just to let you know we're going.
It's
Half my family, I'm married to a Haitian woman. Half my family Haitian. Hey, man, what can I say? I know like 10%. Go ahead.
So the first thing is, I think it was innovative for Kevin Hart and BET to say, "Yo, let's bring this kid. He got millions of people watching him every day. Let's bring him on. Let's kind of give the world a view, or his world, his kids, his people, his followers, a behind the look, a view of what it looks like to be at an award show in general, right? So I think that was cool. I definitely don't think that they did maybe the prep work ahead of time to say, hey, Kai, these are the people that's going to be here. Here are some of the people, some of the spots. Here are some of the singers. Here are the acts. Here are the people that's going to be on the red carpet. So that if you needed to do some a brush up on who these people are, he doesn't come in there. And I think what Dion is speaking to is the second part is just the lack of respect for the culture you're in. Babyface is part of the culture. If you a hip hop head, how don't you know Wale? These are the things that to me, I'm confused about. Like, I don't listen to NBA YoungBoy, but I know who he is. If I seen him, I wouldn't know who he is. I'd be like, "What's up, champ?" I mean, I'm not a fan. I don't listen, but I know who you are. And I know G Herbo and all these young guys. I don't listen to their music, but I know who they are because I'm a fan of the culture. So if you call yourself a curator of the culture, which I believe Kai is not to be, there are certain things in terms of a respect level I think Dion is speaking to. Now,
but just one thing.
Go ahead.
But just one thing. I apologize for cutting you off.
No,
but
go ahead.
Just one thing. I hear what you're saying with that. You wouldn't know who you don't see, it'd be a young boy, G Herbo or the music, but you see him, you'll know who they was. It's because they're relevant. It's because we got maybe a young boy selling out arenas right now. We got G Herbo who's current and relevant. That if you turn on the radio, you might hear one of these songs. If you turn on the radio, unless you listen to the oldie station, you're not going to hear Babyface. Castanet is 23 years old. He's born in the 2000s. I don't think Babyface made music in the 2000s. I could be completely wrong, but I don't know if he did. And if he did make music, it wasn't a hit. And I don't know. James, you're an R&B head. You might know better than me. But
I think most of Babyface's contributions to music it was writing. You know what I mean? Most of his stuff was writing. Even his last big hit was Scissor Joint. You know what I
So
mean?
and that so if he wrote for that, most people isn't gonna know that. The musicians that Casanat is around is the people that we don't know about, like the underground hip hop dudes that we don't know about. That's not NBA Youngboy and G Herb, but the people that's like underground that we don't know about, like that be coming on his stream, doing music, doing content and all that stuff. So he's 23. You know what I mean? Even the Wale thing, that look like Flowers Lotus, like let's say that was his last hit or something like that. That's 2000, what, 2011? Something like that when that came out. Casanat was probably like 7 years old. You know what I mean? So he probably, it's a good chance that he might walk past him and not know who it is. You know what I mean? And like, but they would know who NBA Youngboy is. Very relevant. While they ain't put out no music in over 10 years. NBA Youngboy, that's what he does. You know what I mean? So all I would say is that we could say it's crazy for him not to know who these people is, but like, you're not relevant. Do you know who Snoop Dogg is? Why is that? Because Snoop Dogg is still relevant to this day. He putting out content, whether it's music or whether he putting his face on the screen, doing stuff out there.
You know
And
Jay-Z? You think he know Jay-Z?
yes, he would know Jay-Z.
Because
Jay
Jay-Z
Z
ain't
ain't
putting
putting
no
no
music
he ain't putting out no music, but we know
or nothing.
Jay Z from Rock Nation. We know Jay Z
Yeah.
that he's in front of the stuff with the NFL and all that stuff. He's married to Beyonce, who puts out music to this day. You know what I mean? And Jay Z has put out more current stuff than Babyface has within the
Well,
last
that's
whatever.
just
You
that's
know
just
what I
two
mean?
different. That's just two different things right there. But you know
I'm
what I
just
mean?
saying that Jay Z is current. I mean, is relevant. You know what I mean?
So
Babyface isn't.
here's my point though. So you, if you consider yourself a person who is part of the culture, right? You are a curator for this
Yeah,
culture.
big part.
You are talking to millions and millions of kids and adults that are part of the culture. You have a interaction with them every day on your chat. You converse. You listen to music. From what I understand, one of his mafia thons had a freestyle booth in it, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah.
mean to tell me that you interact with millions of people every day that are part of this culture, and there was no mention of who might be at this particular BET Awards that you're going to bump into, and to say, I don't even have enough reverence for the culture to say, let me listen to some babyface joints, or God forbid, let me listen to Big Daddy Kane. Like, you think he would walk by Big Daddy Kane and not know him? Maybe, but I would call that a
Yes, he would.
level. I
He will
I
walk
know
right
he
by.
would. I know he would,
Yeah,
because
he walked past
it's
Big
a
Daddy
level
Kane. That's two of them.
it's a level of respect that I think Dion Cole is talking to. Like, yo, you're one of the leaders of this group of kids that are going to inherit this culture. You're moving the culture forward, and if you don't understand our history, how are you moving us forward? It's no different than anything in life. Like, if you don't understand the history, how are you going to move it forward? You're not going to be able to move forward. So I think it's important. I think what Dion Cole is, to
Is
an
that
extent,
his
is right. I
responsibility?
think yes, because you're a leader. Yes, you've become a
So
leader.
when you
You're
talk about
moving.
that,
He
when you
is a
talk about that,
leader. Yes, it's his responsibility to understand his history, to understand who have paved the way for him in this hip hop culture. Now, I'm not saying specifically Babyface, but I'm saying there is a level of responsibility at the point that you take the lead, and these people, millions of people, are following you, whether you like it or not. This ain't Charles Barkley that I'm not a role model. Yes, you are. You absolutely are.
I
I
think
That's how I
was
I
feel
think
about it.
at that same in that same event, he was seen again. I use Snoop Dogg as the same example. He was sitting there chopping it up with Snoop Dogg, and that's when Wale had went over there and confronted him about him not knowing him. But again, I think he does. On his Mafia thing, he had Ice Cube on there. He had Mariah Carey. He had certain people that's part of the culture that he does bring in and he does pay homage to. Wale, Babyface, these are people who are not currently relevant right now, and to put that on him to know people. That's like going back in the 90s and asking somebody to know about Billie Holiday. I don't think they're gonna know about it. You know what I'm saying? And like to put that on him, I just think is unfair. You know what I mean? Because he has shown love to the older people, but he gonna know who he gonna know. And if you're relevant, if you did something that's current, he might know who you are. That the whole booth thing that you talked about doing Monty-a-thon, everybody that was on there was people that you would not know who they are. I know who some of these people are, and I think I'm pretty current on a lot of dudes and stuff. I didn't know who some of them people was, or most of the people was that rapped on there. And he's doing his part by pushing these new guys who people may not know about into the forefront, so people get a little bit of a light, because some of these old heads they run. You know what I mean? I'm just one who I'm with the evolution of whether it's sports, whether it's entertainment, music, and things like that. And I think sometimes we, as the older people, whether it's millennials, Gen Z, or whatever part we fall into, that get kind of stuck on certain things and just feel like these new guys should know what we know. But that's don't get me started on the sports debates when it comes to that stuff like that. People get stuck on it. People get stuck on it and they don't look at evolution. You know what I mean? And you gotta look at it like that's the new wave. DDG, like these dudes that's streaming and making. They was cool now to these kids. But look at our kids right now. Ask them how many rappers that they know, then ask them how many streamers they know. I guarantee you they're gonna know more streamers. They're gonna know more YouTubers and TikTokers.
But you say he know Mariah Carey?
What's that?
You say he know Mariah Carey?
He had Mariah Carey on there.
Don't know Babyface?
Mariah Carey, Mariah Carey, her kids put him on, put her on, and then they connected. But remember, Mariah Carey, Nick Cannon brings her relevancy up. What has Babyface done that would put his, that would put him in the forefront of anything? You know what I mean?
The fact that he just pretty much was one of the births of R&B, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah. But the thing is this, you know what I mean? I think that, you know what I mean? When it comes down to it, it might be a little bit of selective memory that, you know what I mean, that they don't want to know certain things because they just shutting it out. Now, the thing is that if you got Nick Cannon his kids are the only way that you're going to get to know Mariah Carey, I think that's kind of crazy, but it is what it is. And that just tells me these young, you know what I mean, no hate for the youngins, you know what I mean? I love the youngins. If you ain't busting no guts to no damn Babyface or none of this other stuff, or have it in your repertoire, you know what I mean? I don't know what you're doing over there.
Hey, Smooth, they listen to NBA YoungBoy.
Yeah. If you busting
they not like us, son. They listen. They listen
they don't do that no more.
They listen to Blueface.
They don't do that no more. The era of getting cheeks to your favorite R&B artist, that's done. Who's the new who do we know any current R&B groups that's out right now? The Silks, the H-Towns, the Boys to Men, that's doing real R&B. That doesn't exist no more.
The TGT came back.
Hey, yo, speaking of that, Boys to Men,
we talking about people who came back.
They going on tour.
Yeah, they going on tour.
Boys to Men going on tour. I might have to give me a tape, but I might have to give me some tickets.
I remember the days where we used to make
the CDs. Man.
We used to make the CDs and just straight all R&B music to just straight gut music.
Listen, half of my CD collection is being burnt from you, Jay. So I know you burned half of my collection for me. so like, listen, I'm with y'all when it comes to that. I'm just saying, I understand the young heads that just they ain't gonna be on it.
Hey, Sue, I'm not saying
it ain't their responsibility.
I'm not saying we stuck in the past. I'm not saying you're supposed to be like us. What I'm saying is you can be a pioneer and push the young stuff, but you still gotta show love to the OGs. You still gotta show love to the people that paved the way. Like that's just how it is. Like how how can I be in my industry and not show love to certain people in my industry? Like, I know who they are. I know who the pioneers in my industry are, and if I seen them, I may not, I don't know you, but if you give me an opportunity to dap you up, I'm gonna show you love. We ain't gonna have no big old conversation. I'm like, boom. I appreciate the things that you've done for this industry and this community and our community. I appreciate you, show you love, and then I keep it pushing. It don't even gotta be no more than that, right? You see Babyface, say, hey, that's Babyface. The man's name is Babyface. Like, if you haven't heard the name damn Babyface, and I don't care if you're 22 or unless you 2 years old, if you haven't heard the name damn Babyface in your 22 years and you've been listening to hip hop and R&B, and you got parents that listen to hip hop and R&B, man, get out of here. And you know what I'm saying? Like my man said,
how would you hear about Babyface if you're 23, King? How would you hear about Babyface if you're 23?
He got parents that play music, man.
One of his
he
parents
got parents that play music,
one of his parents is Haitian. One of his parents is Haitian.
My mother,
and the other one is
my mother's an 87-year-old Haitian woman. She
your
know
mom don't know about
Babyface. She know baby. She can barely speak English, and she know.
I just said half my family Haitian. The old head Haitians listen to country music. You know that.
She know, and my mama know Babyface.
And Willie Nelson and all that stuff too. Like Celine Dion and all that. Like listen now. No.
Just know.
I'm talking about
what we really doing here? What we doing?
Respect. There's some respect.
All I'm saying is I agree with yo. All I'm saying, I don't want to be confused. I agree with what y'all saying is that if you're somebody that's that's at the head of the industry right now, that's big, it's important to bring everybody up with you and pay homage to the people that's before you. I'm saying that I felt Deion Cole try to put some smut on his jacket by making it seem like he didn't know who nobody was. He was kicking it with he was kicking it with Snoop Dogg, but he gonna know who Snoop Dogg is. He bought out people like he could bring out somebody like Marlon Wayans. He could bring out somebody like Ray J. He could bring out somebody like Ice Cube and things like that. And these are people who are relevant. So if you ain't doing nothing, what have you done for me lately? If you ain't doing nothing currently, don't expect somebody who's 20 years old to know who the hell you are if you was popping back in the 90s. You wasn't even thought of yet. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying.
Remember you said this, because remember, I guarantee you, while he's only like 23 right now. Mm-hmm. Give him another 20, 30 years. He's going to be saying the same thing that we saying now that people are complaining about. He's going to be like, I was the one who did this, and I paved the way, and y'all not showing me no love or whatever. Mark it. We're going to mark it today. It's November 5th.
Or he might be like Snoop Dogg and still relevant in 20 years later, and the young kids still embrace him. He might be. We don't know.
He might be.
What have you done for me lately? That's what the thing is.
If he say it, that still go against what he's doing.
I never heard Snoop say, these young people don't pay homage to me, because Snoop has stayed relevant throughout he has survived the test of time. Jay-Z survived the test of time.
Snoop was the biggest one from back in the day. Look at he brought up the Delphonics. He was the biggest one. He always showed respect to them. He was a big time old head. Yeah, he was a big time.
He was an old soul. Yeah, he definitely did old soul, and he's an old soul, and it's cultural too. Again, parents is not from this. Is not from here, so he's not. I think he is a twin, so he don't have older siblings and things like that. I know about all the old stuff and things like that because I'm the youngest out of 6 kids. I had to listen, and I have both my parents in the house. So I listened to everything that was before me before I got to listen to anything current. But it all depends, man. But we can talk about this all day.
I'll tell you one thing. What I get from this right here, I need y'all youngins to pay attention. Go to the R&B section. Go get the top hits and make your behind a mixtape. Make you a CD or something. And go get mixtapes no more. That's what I need to do.
You can't make mixtape no more.
They in the Walmart bathroom playing Blueface. That's how they get down now, Zane.
Cut that arm.
They listen to their Blueface.
Cut all that rap music out. Get you some R&B. I don't care if you get your Chris Breezy on. you might want to go back and go listen to some Babyface, some Silk, some Tyrese, some Black Street. You know what I mean?
H-Tab.
And I can keep going on and on and on and on. You know what I mean? But go make you a little mixtape or something, so you can go in there,
we might have to
get
do
your
a
little
top. We
lady
might have to do a
together,
top 10.
and you
We
go
might have
bust
to do
them
a top.
guts right.
A
Hey,
top
James,
five?
you might have to put together a top 10 R&B group. We might have to
Oh
talk
man,
about
we
that next
gonna
week.
have to do that. Yeah, you know what? We're gonna say that for the next pod. We're gonna bring it in because right now I'm hot. I'm mad right now, man. These niggas don't even got no damn no booty music.
Yo, listen to it.
Nope.
I don't know where you getting right
Big
to
account, baby boo.
NLE Chopper. You know what I mean? Come
That's what they
on, man.
do, man. That's what they do, man. Like,
And you getting right to that. Man, I remember Call Wheezy days, man. Had that
Oh,
damn
man.
Flip album on repeat, man.
yeah.
Come on, man.
You won a couple Man of the Years there too.
No,
So
I ain't
like,
with none of that. But
you
come
definitely,
on, man. Come on,
you definitely tore a couple doors off the
get right,
hinges.
man. That's all I
You definitely
ask.
tore a couple doors off the hinges in Caldwell. That was back in college days. We
Man,
can't
I
get
don't
too
want
much on that.
this bull crap right there.
Statute of limitations is
get
up
right,
though,
man.
so we can talk
Get
about
right,
some
young
stuff.
people. I'm telling you. I tell you, Jay better get right. I'm telling you, when he get older, he better have some goddamn music that he better get right to. If he ain't getting right,
though,
we're
right?
gonna have a problem.
You got play.
That's the
You got
first,
play
though,
it
right?
around
If
the
you in the
crib.
car and you blasting rap music while you driving them to school, then all right, whatever. But if you listen to some, you know what I mean, giving them some good teaching about some good music, you know, they gonna learn the right way. You know what I mean? So you gotta teach them. You gotta learn them up.
Man, that was always on deck. That damn CD was ready to rock. Come on, man.
Yeah. Got a lot.
Come
Got a
on.
lot. You got a lot of love due to it.
Nah,
It
I ain't
all
gonna
worked
say
out.
that, but we're not saying that.
Sir,
I'm just saying
not a lot of
that you
love,
gotta
sir.
be ready. You gotta be ready. You gotta prepare to be ready. You never know when it's gonna happen. So you gotta be ready. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. Young people, get it right. That's all. That's all. You're right.
So all right. So who's real quick? What was your go-to? You like so this is
Back
we
then?
talking about anywhere from let's say anywhere from 98 to
Oh,
2005.
okay, you're right. From 98 to about 2000, I mean, I held it down.
Mm.
You know what I mean? That I Remember You album, he held it down. I'm telling you, I can remember where I was with certain songs on that album. It could be in Heartbreak. You know what I mean? I remember certain songs or whatever.
It was genuine for me. It was genuine for me. 98 to 2000 was genuine for me.
Well, I can tell you one thing, and I always said this: music, all the music that you can listen to, when you hear a song, it always takes you back to where you was when it first came out, or when you first heard it, or whatever event that it had impact on your life. When that song, you think of that song, it just bring you back.
Back when you
Music,
used to have those 2v1s, it bring you back to that.
Wow.
QV1.
Okay.
Not bad.
All right. We might have to wrap it up, Smooth. Holy smokes.
You just ruined it right there,
Jesus Christ.
Sorry, you used to have 2v1s. You versus two chicks.
First of all, that's all. The Triz, that's all.
Jesus Shuttlesworth style.
Yes, sir. The Triz,
that's the recruiting shit.
We don't get no percent of the Triz names, huh? No percent of the Triz, huh? No percent of the shit. No percent. Hey, Smooth, wrap it up, champ. Hey, Smooth.
Yeah, it was that time, man. Great conversation today. I tell you, great conversation. Your young kids get right. I can tell you that right now.
Get right.
You know what I mean? But fellas, we had a good time. We're gonna see y'all next time. Like, if you like this type of content, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Go check us out in our socials. Go follow us. We appreciate y'all. We in the beginning phase. We here for the long haul. We ain't going nowhere. We'll see y'all next time.
James,
Peace and love.
Pandemic P.